Yo, fantasy community, welcome to Proper Things, the FPL show brought to you by the T&T FPL Pro League, episode 21. So how y'all doing? I know it's that time of the season, it's Christmas week, at the time of recording, it's the Tuesday before Christmas. We have games starting this Thursday, and of course the Boxing Day into the mid-28th game week, but today we have a special episode because this episode would give the picks and all the advice for those 2 game weeks in one. So this is definitely an episode you don't want to miss. Well, with it being Christmas week, I had to whip out the Rudolph for you. I hope all you enjoy it or like it. But this episode have a little extra content, so we have to kick things off one time. And as usual, we starting it off with a review of game week 17. Well, on Friday, Spurs put 2 past Nottingham, 2-0 to Spurs in that one. Bournemouth and Luton played to a 1-1 at the 60th minute before, the unfortunate incident of one of the players collapsing. That game is to be determined going forward, so we wait for FPL to give us an announcement there, and all the best to Lockley. Chelsea defeated Sheffield 2-0. City, my boys, could only muster a 2-2 draw at Crystal Palace. Newcastle defeated Fulham 3-0. Everton breezed past Burnley 2-0. Arsenal also breezed past Brighton at the same scoreline of 2-0. Aston Villa snuck past Brentford 2-1. Ollie Watkins with the late winner. West Ham United defeated Wolves 3-0. And in the marquee matchup that never happened, Liverpool and Manchester United played out a 0-0 draw. Very disappointing marquee game in game week 17. And now with the review concluded, we move into the goat mouth segment, or the preview for the game week. And this game week we have, of course, the double EP. So we have 2 weeks of predictions to make, and we're kicking things off with Crystal Palace and Brighton in game week 18. Expect this one to draw 1-1. Aston Villa breeze past Sheffield 3-0. West Ham defeat Manchester United 2-1. Fulham defeat Burnley 2-1 as well. Luton and Newcastle get past Luton 2-1. 2-1 also Bournemouth over Forest. Tottenham win by the same scoreline as well versus Everton. Liverpool and Arsenal play to a 2-2 draw at the Emirates. 2-1 will be the score between Chelsea and Wolves. Chelsea winning that one. And of course the Manchester City and the Honeybees of Brentford game will not be occurring this game week. And then we move quickly into game week 19. Kick things off, Newcastle versus Forest. I expect the Toons to win this one 3-0. Bournemouth to also defeat Fulham 2-1. Sheffield and Luton play to a 1-1 draw. Liverpool defeat Burnley 3-0. Aston Villa also defeat Manchester United 2-1. So I have Manchester United losing both games. Wolves defeat Brentford 2-1. Chelsea 2-1 versus Palace. 2-1 will also be my boy City back in the Prem versus Everton. Tottenham also defeat Brighton 2-1, and Arsenal 3-1 versus West Ham. So a lot of 2-1s I predict in this segment. But of course it will be a lot of fanatic action during the holiday season. Some great games, and hopefully my predictions come true at least for me. I hope we get 3 points. And Manchester United fans, would those 2 losses be the end of Erik ten Hag? We saw another manager bite the dust today at the time of recording. Will ten Hag be next? So we're looking out for that. And that concludes the goat mouth predictions, or the previews for game week 18 and 19. So we're kicking things off with the proper things picks, the segment named after the show. Again, these are the picks that are the centerpieces to FPL. They should be in your team now and going forward, as they are the centerpieces to FPL. So last game week, we went 2 picks out of 3 were a success, with our defender pick being Poro, returning 8 points. Salah, unfortunately, blanked in the returned 3 points in the job. Manchester United vs Liverpool fixture, and Watkins came through with a brilliant 9 points. So this game week, being 18 and 19, the proper things defender pick is Pau Torres, who currently has a knock, but if he's not available, Konza. But I love Pau Torres coming at 4.7. Of course, he'll be making the pick a little later in the week, as at the time of recording, it's just Tuesday, and Pau has a little knock again next to his name. But if you look at Aston Villa, they play Sheffield in game week 18, which I believe is one of the premium fixtures, especially with Manchester City and Brentford blanking. I believe a clean sheet is on the cards for Aston Villa. And Pau Torres, attacking threat for the last few game weeks. Have you seen the games? It always seems like he's playing a pass or getting a shot on target. Maybe he gets past the Sheffield shot stopper, which a lot of players have been doing this season, and a big hole is on the horizon. Adversely, if Pau Torres is not fit the time the end of the week and the game week nears, I would deviate now to Konza, his teammate. But again, Pau Torres is the pick that I like the most, and therefore he is the proper things defender pick for both game week 18 and 19. Moving on to the midfield now, I have a dynamic duo. Players from the same team, or a stack as they call them. I'm talking about Heung-min Son and Richarlison. Heung-min Son coming at 9.8 million and Richarlison at 6.7 million. Most of you all already have Heung-min Son, and for those who don't have him, it may be a little difficult to get him in now at 9.8 million. I know he started at 9 million, but I believe with Haaland off in the Club World Cup, Son is definitely a must-have, as he could do damage these next 2 game weeks. I think Tottenham will win the next 2 games, like I said earlier in the predictions, and I think Son is going to play a major part. Also, he's nailed on penalties, and I think he'll be looking to stamp his authority before he heads off to the Asian Cup. Next, it's Richarlison. The pigeon dance was in full effect for the last 2 game weeks. He was on the wondering picks last game week, but I think now it's time to call him up into the proper thing segment. I mean, what more do you need to see from Richarlison? At his price point, he's a definite candidate to bring into all teams. I know most of you all have Palmer already, or Gordon. If you don't have him and you're looking for a budget midfielder, Richarlison is the ideal guy. If you're looking to switch one of those assets out, Richarlison is the ideal guy. Again, I think Spurs are going to be in hot form in the next 2 game weeks, and Richarlison, now the number 9 for Spurs, were riddled by injury, so his minutes should be safe. It's a definite proper things pick for both game week 18 and game week 19. And finally, in the proper things forward pick or the attacking pick, I have 2 guys again. One being Ollie Watkins, who fresh off a 9 pointer in game week 17. I mean, what are you waiting for Ollie to bring Ollie Watkins in it if you don't already have him? Coming in now at 8.6 million, I expect him to rise in price before the start of game week 18. He plays Sheffield United in game week 18, a definite candidate for the captaincy to hold the armband. I know I am leaning towards him at the time of recording. He is the focal point of Aston Villa's attack, and he's been returning. Aston Villa has been in hot form at home, and I love the fixture versus Sheffield United and the game week 19 fixture. So get Ollie Watkins in now if you don't have him. For those who have him, well, enjoy your price rise. And he is accompanied this week by Dominic Solanke, coming in at 6.8 million. I know that there are a lot of people who kept Haaland if you're looking to move Haaland on this game week, as currently he's not even on the bench for our first game in the Club World Cup, so maybe there's more smoke and more fire to come with the Haaland injury. Crossing fingers that I'm wrong there. But Dom Solanke at 6.8 million, a brilliant pick here to bring into your team now, and you could hold him going forward, as he's not one of those premium priced forwards, especially if you're looking to move on from our spilt milk forward pick that comes later in the episode. So Solanke and Watkins is your proper things forward picks for game week 18 and 19. And now we move to the segment that is my favorite segment in the proper things segment. It's for my aggressive players who are looking to rise rank quickly. Of course, I'm speaking about the needle movers segment. These are the picks that could help you do just that. So if you're looking for a shot of points, these are the picks that could help you. Last game week, we hit on Richarlison, but we missed on Wilson, and unfortunately Villa conceded in a 2-1 win. So Pau Torres only returned 2 points, but he's back again this time in the proper things picks. So all those who brought in Richarlison already, congratulations on your 9-pointer. And this game week now, of course, I looked at the next 2 game weeks to bring you needle movers, and I think the best and biggest needle mover is one of Fantasy's darlings. I'm talking about Kieran Trippier of Newcastle, coming in now at 6.9 million. You get a little price drop, so you're getting a small haircut on his price point. I mean, Newcastle have 2 of the best fixtures on paper for 18 and 19 before they turn a little sour in 20 and 21. And I think this is a great opportunity to bring Trippier in if you don't have him, because a lot of managers already moved on from him in favor of Trent Alexander-Arnold or maybe Porro, one other asset. And this is an opportunity to get some points over on your league mates. And we all know what Kieran Trippier is capable of. He's one of the most attacking defenders in the entire game, second only to Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's hauled in big games this season, and Newcastle are always a threat for clean sheets. But we know the state of Newcastle right now with the injuries. They're piling up like cornwood right now, unfortunately. But I think Kieran Trippier could have a 2-week blitz for those who are brave enough to bring him in for game week 18 and 19. Now we move into the midfield and the needle movers. Midfielder pick for 18 and 19 is a guy who is definitely just that, because he leaves soon after for the African Cup of Nations. And I'm speaking about Mohamed Kudus, coming in at 6.7 of West Ham United. We saw what Kudus did last game week, what we call a specky of a finish. The game week before he also scored. So you know he's coming into big form. He's also finally looking like he's finding his legs in the Premier League. He was a new transfer this season. And I believe he'll be looking to make his mark before he leaves for the AFCON. So Mohamed Kudus at 6.7 million is a definite needle mover pick. Again, this is a pick that you'd have to get out of your team soon after. So if you're looking for a quick points and not a long-term option in midfield, Kudus is your guy, because like I said, he leaves in 4 weeks for the African Cup of Nations. So he's not a long-term pick, and thus a brilliant needle mover in the midfield. And finally in attack, I know there are a lack of options in the forward line. Most of you all already know that we are missing Haaland for game week 18. Also, Alvarez is out to the Club World Cup. And Darwin is misfiring. No Nkunku sighting just yet. So, the needle mover forward pick, again, this guy has been here before. He's failed to deliver, but I believe Arsenal versus Liverpool is a game that is tailor-made for Gabi Jesus. I mean, it's going to be a scrappy game. I predict this game to finish 2-2. This game historically has always produced goals. Gabi Jesus is a guy who moves in and out, a little jerky kind of forward. I believe he could return versus Liverpool, but I'm also looking at Arsenal's schedule going forward, especially game week 19 and 20. I believe they have big points for those who have Gabi Jesus in your team. So if you're looking, not especially for the Liverpool game, which I think he will deliver maybe an assist or goal, but also for the game week 19 game, I think Gabi Jesus is a guy you definitely want to bring in. So thus he is your needle movers forward pick for game week 18 and 19. And now that I got my aggressive players handled with the needle movers, we shift gears into the spilt milk segment. These are the players that should be departing your team ASAP as they become net negatives and need to be moved on. And oh boy, have they begun to smell funky. So last week we went 3 for 3. I mean, we've been knocking them out of the park with selling or getting rid of assets that have overstayed their welcome. Last week, of course, we had Anderson in defense, yellow card, and conceded 2 goals. So a goose egg versus Manchester City, of course. Bruno ducked the fade, got the yellow, was suspended. And Darwin Núñez, disappointing again, unfortunately, a guy who is also on my team with a 1-pointer. No returns, and of course the yellow card for absolute stupidity. So we move now into Spilt Milk Defender pick, and this one is a pick that I know a lot of people hopped on, got their points, but I think it's time to hop off the train. I'm talking about Mikolenko from Everton coming in at 4.6 million. I mean, those who had him already ate a lot of points, ate some nice price rises, so you're making a lot of money on this sale. Mikolenko currently has a little injury, and I think Everton's run of clean sheets is about to come to an end. You know what they say, all good things come to an end. And I don't believe Everton could keep this streak on, and I believe it's a great time to sell if you have the opportunity to move on from Mikolenko. I know there are a lot of people with other fires to put out, but if you have an extra transfer, maybe Mikolenko to a Pau Torres or a Konza is the perfect move for you. So Mikolenko of Everton, again, I don't think Everton can continue their run of clean sheets. Mikolenko currently has a knock as well, and I don't believe that the attacking returns will be there going forward. So is your spilled milk defender pick for game week 18 and 19. In midfield, we have a guy who's started off his debut season in the Premier League with a bang, with a goal. You know, a lot of owners had him, they were rejoicing, talking about Diaby of Aston Villa coming in at 6.7 million, but he's been replaced now by the Jamaican sensation Bailey. You know, Bailey's been giving people the work on the right side of Aston Villa's attack. I know he turned up Yaskov Vardiol when they played Manchester City. He terrorized Arsenal as well, and he seems to be the man in form of the hottest assets right now in the Premier League. And Diaby seems to be the man who has lost his spot. I know the opposite happened during the beginning of the season and also in Leverkusen, but Diaby seems to be on the short end of the stick this time around, as Bailey is the guy right now for Unai Emery. So if you're a Diaby owner, unfortunately, it looks like you may have to sell, as he's not first choice option going forward, as the Bailey injury didn't rule him out last game week. He's back, and I believe he gets the nod ahead of the Frenchman. So if you have Diaby, I would definitely sell. And finally, in attack, I wish I could say it was nice having you, but the roller coaster was just tears for the last few game weeks. Talking about the Uruguayan Darwin Núñez at 7.6 million. I expect him to have a price drop as well before the start of the game week, but unfortunately, like Rasmus earlier in the season, the ride's over, and I don't think I'll be buying another ticket for this attraction this season. I mean, it's coming to the point now, if you wonder if Jurgen Klopp miscouted this guy, the price tag is too much, as Darwin just is not it as we see. It's best to say just sell, especially if you could move on to a Dom Solanke. If you don't have Watkins, I would definitely make that move. Or maybe you just bench him if you have 5 midfielders and you're playing the 3-5-2 formation with Solanke and Watkins. But Darwin Núñez, the ride's over, the roller coaster is done, and he is the main candidate over the other two in the spilt milk segment this game week. So Darwin Núñez, it's funky, unfortunately, and a definite spilt milk forward pick for game week 18. Please get rid in 18, but if not, in 19, definitely. And now we go into the final segment of this Christmas special episode of Proper Things. Of course, we're talking about the wondering pick segment, the players you should keep a keen eye on with hopes of bringing them in the upcoming game weeks. And last game week, I said to keep an eye on 3 players, being Gabriel of Arsenal, Johnson of Spurs, and Raul Jimenez of Fulham. And while I was a little skeptical of Gabriel starting, he returned 6 points. I said to keep an eye on Johnson, and unfortunately he got injured, so 1 point there. And not to rush on Raul Jimenez, and for those who waited, you were rewarded, as he unfortunately did a mad thing, a Triple H high knee, and received a red card. So -2 and suspended going forward. So for those who already have Raul Jimenez, you definitely need to move him. But I think Darwin trumped him in his spilt milk forward pick this game week. But moving now into the wondering picks for game week 18 and 19. In the defending position, I have a guy from Chelsea coming at 4.6 million. I remember at the beginning of the season, guys were saying he is the future of England's defense. I'm talking about Colwell. I mean, Chelsea looked well defense as they said, was the best defense at the end of game week 7. Of course, they had some layup fixtures and were keeping clean sheets. That turned sour very quickly as they got some beatings soon after that, but I think the schedule again turns favorable during the festive period. I believe some clean sheets are in store, and Caldwell is as locked in as there is next to Thiago Silva. But at 4.6 million, I think Caldwell is the better pick, but not a guy I would be bringing in ahead of 18. Maybe 19 if I like what I see in 18, but I'll definitely be keeping my eye on Caldwell in game week 18. So he's your wondering pick, defender pick for game week 18. In midfield, it's King Kai. Brilliant goal versus Brighton. Big price tag, and the Arsenal fans are starting to warm to him. I know the Chelsea banter has started to die. You know, they're not saying that they hoodwinked Arsenal into a sale, as Kai is quickly beginning to turn things around with some goals of late. I believe he's worth keeping a keen eye on, especially with the Thomas Partey injury. Maybe Kai makes that midfield spot in Arsenal's midfield his home, and going forward he could maybe do some damage. He's not a guy to bring in this game week, but definitely to keep your eye on. So King Kai is your wondering midfielder pick for game week 18 and 19. And finally, in attack, with the lack of options, is a guy who well, maybe we see the Nkunku sighting this 18 or 19, but it is his presumably striking partner in Nico Jackson, coming at 6.9 million. I know I won't be bringing him in, but I remember the Nico and Nkunku combination was electric in preseason. So if we do see a Christophe Nkunku sighting, I'll definitely keep an eye on Jackson to see how he goes with his French striking partner. I like to see how the combo goes again before I make a decision. So Christophe Nkunku, maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't, but wondering pick for game week 18-19 is Nico Jackson of Chelsea at 6.9 million in the forward. Right. So that brings us to the end of the Proper Things segment for game week 18 and 19. I hope you all enjoyed it. I had fun delivering the picks. And I'd appreciate it if you all could go down in the comment section and leave a comment, like the video, and if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel. I know last episode a lot of you all enjoyed it. It was the 20th episode. You know, we got some great picks in, some green arrows in, and with Christmas around the corner, you all could give me a Christmas present by subscribing, commenting, and liking the video. So I enjoy doing the episodes, and hopefully the picks pick this game week now. And now with the Proper Things segment for Nito, we're moving into the Captaincy Corner. This is, of course, the segment for those who have a little dilemma on who to put the armband on. I would like to say I could do Captaincy Corner for 18 and 19, but you know, games change. When things change game to game. I don't want to do game week 19, and then guys say, but Mike, you put me on one, or you put me out. What you doing, Mike? So this is just for game week 18, ladies and gents. Game week 18's Captaincy Corner. Just remember that. So my favorite captain for game week 18 is the boy Ollie Watkins of Aston Villa. I know they play Sheffield this game week, one of the worst teams in the league, one of the worst defenses in the league. I expect Ollie Watkins to bag at least one, and I expect 2 returns from Ollie Watkins with bonuses. And therefore, he is my favorite captain. He will be my captain in game week 18. In second place is Heung-min Son of Tottenham. I mean, one of the hottest assets in the game. Unfortunately, blanked last game week in the Gandhi game on the Friday game, unfortunately. But Heung-min Son retains his spot at second in Captaincy Corner. But not to Salah this game week, but to Watkins. At number 3, for those who are looking for a little differential or a little cheeky ball, I have Kieran Trippier way up this game week. I know Newcastle have a premium fixture this game week. I expect a clean sheet, and Trippier is always on the cards for attacking return. Again, this is a little cheeky ball. He's a nail mover defender pick, and he comes in at number 3. And number 4, we can't overlook this guy, although he has a bad or a poor matchup against one of the best defenses in the marquee matchup versus Arsenal. I'm talking about the king of FPL, Mo Salah. I can't slide him further down than 4 because Salah is due a goal any game week. He's also due a whole any game week. He's world class. But unfortunately, he only ends up at 4 this game week on the Captaincy Corner. And to close out the top 5, this is another cheeky ball candidate. I'm talking about Richarlison or the Pigeon Dance. 2 game weeks, and he's been on his score sheet for the last 2 game weeks as well. I expect the form to continue. He looks to be playing the number 9 role. He looks to be enjoying his football and in the midst of a purple patch. He comes in at 5 to close out the Captaincy Corners. I like the 4 assets a little bit more. Watkins again will be my captain, and this is Captaincy Corner for only game week 18. So good luck, and I hope that I helped you all with any captaincy dilemma you all had this game week. Well, now you can see I have a special guest live, well, in my home studio with my little cuz. Well, not my little cuz anymore because he giving me the work this season. My big cuz, as you should say in the FPL, Nick Brandu. So how you doing today, Nick?
Very good, very good. And first of all, just want making it sound like if I just beaten him up this year. We have been playing for what, 9 years? He has been giving me the work, so I would say for about 5 years. But there have been some years in the past where I have given him the work also. So don't make it sound like if I was a newbie to win it.
The man say I agree, son. I like that.
Yeah, but nice to be here.
Yeah, man, look, you're big cuz.
Yeah.
So, right, you know now that the Captaincy Corner completed, we move into the segment with the most banter, the group chat rowdy. My cousin won't know what I'm talking about because he inside.
Very rowdy, I must say. Lots of notifications on weekend.
Every day that something to say, as I say, it's like, it's the one and only race for the 10K. So now we have to take a look and see what's going on in the T&T FPL Pro League. I know me and Nick was hoping to be at the top of this stage of the proceedings, but unfortunately we're not now. So let me see who giving me the work in the league here, because I see in at number 1 position right now is A-Wick Andre Roberts moving back up to the first position with a 65-point game week, 1,050 points, 1,050 points as I should say in total. Quick look at what A-Wick did this last game week, and we could see the Bronca in goal, Lascelles, Simicas, Odoji, Saka, Palmer, Salah captain like all of us, Son, Watkins, Solanke, and wait, he might have more points coming in, ladies and gents, as the Holland sub has not been made yet. Remember, the game week is still open, so 2 points from Wang Hee-chan could be on the cards, and maybe 5 for the 6 from Solanke. We don't know what's going on right now in the game, so we wait to see what FPL decides there.
I would say one thing about A-Wick team. I don't know him personally, but I think he has to be a very good FPL manager, in the sense that I remember when I was in the top 10 about 3 weeks ago, he was, and still in the top 10 also, and this was during the Cricket World Cup, and he is number 1 still, so that goes to show his consistency. So yeah, without a doubt, he definitely knows what he is doing, and it will be a challenge to beat him in particular. Not saying that he is the only one that currently on the top 10 for a while, it's just what my eyes notice.
Yeah, definitely, and A-Wick leading me the pack right now, and it's a tough competition here, so he regains the lead. Congratulations, Andre Roberts. I hope you continue good work, but for my sake, I need a little blind to get back into things, you know? So give me a Christmas gift and give me a little blind. I know my cousin here would appreciate that too.
Definitely.
So he's looking at second here. A man retains his spot in Salzburg lads, most likely a Liverpool fan, FPL Trini, 63-point game week, 1 point behind Andre Roberts, 10.49 on the season. So the top two there, neck and neck, and just 4 points back is White Rice Party by Salim Buchu, making the jump with a massive 77 game week, 1045 on the season. And closing out the top 5, Everyone Loves Her Fatty by Ryan, and the former leader, Sky Saw Redemption by Stefan Ramkisoon, 1042 for Stefan and 1044 for Ryan. So that is your top 5. Top 10, Bamboo United by Ricardo Monga, Mark My Words by Mark Ramdat, Haven't Jota Clue by Aziel, Trent Poole, Dr. Phil Foden by Capel, and the creator, well, he outside the top 10, but 11, he could get a shout out. And Gaza Chubbs by Ezra, 70 point game week, 1024. Not in the top 10 ever, Ezra, but we gain a little shine at 11.
Definitely not 11.
So we want to think right on the cusp here, I'll turn over now to my boy, Nicky Brandu from Pelican Bay, and let him talk about his team here for a little bit before I show you all my team and my plans for this game. So I seen him make 75 points here, and he could tell you but his team.
Yeah, so pretty solid game week last week. I was thrilled that I didn't have to take a hit, so I basically, in my opinion, I started with a green arrow, you could say, because I know a lot of people had to take a hit for obvious reasons, right? In terms of going forward, I know the picks this week is Trent Alexander-Arnold or Trippier, right? I would say since I enjoy making transfers, I am about 65 to 70% likely to pick Trippier, right? But I have my doubts is because I see both of them as short-term transfers in the sense that I don't see them, well, I don't see myself having them for more than 5 weeks, right? And as I observe, and I could be wrong on this, is that premium defenders are very fickle in the sense that when they're not putting up points, like their name on a team sheet just seems to get bigger with a red next to it. Not in the sense that they're hurt, but in the sense that they are underperforming, right? Because it just takes, trying to get 2 points and arrest the next game, and the questions coming, is he worth it? Is he not worth it, right? Also for me, why I would not go Trent is because I have Tsimikas, and although he is not in the same realm as Trent from the fantasy standpoint, I really don't want to be playing 2 Liverpool assets in my team right now. So yeah, but basically, I more than likely will be bringing Trippier this week or Holding. So yeah, that's my transfer card. Also, I know Michael mentioned the Pauteres pick. That is a decent pick, and I would look into that in the sense that he is not pricey as the alternative that I mentioned previously. So yeah, that's my plan.
So you see some inside there from a bigger player myself this season. So although I don't give all them my transfer plans next, maybe you might have to take his opinions this game.
The people that don't need to take my opinion is I would say the 17 men. Right?
So yeah,
but men like Magnus and them who I know can do better, listen to this. Alright,
you hear that? Magnus, a man calling you out on the show, so I hope to get on the show. You hear? So to hear what you have to say. But it's all fun and
all fun.
And love on these ends. So you hear the man about his team, the fickle premium defenders, and who he likes going forward. So he has Tsimikas, he thinks he could match Trent, and he looking into the power. So take the man serious, because I see doing great work this season. Again, coming in at 18th right now, a big green arrow to climb up, and we're looking to make movements. And if we scroll a little while down, you see a nice little green in the 46th position, climbing. We spending money bad on the Rasmus, kind of like United did earlier in the season. So we're still recovering, but we building that. We building. So right now, we just looking to climb back up to pass back Peloton Bay and get into the top 10.
But yes, now, Michael, and this is sort of off subject, right? But still sticking with FPL. I know you win the manager of the month last month, so congrats again on that. But what I wanted to ask, and I never asked him this off a camera, is that you rather be in that spot where you win it, or you rather be in my spot where you're 18th and it could possibly go to the top 10 this week. Which one would you rather? Because I mean, silverware. Or you rather me who ever nothing, but I want to win something. You know, so which one you would rather?
At the current shape of the game, as we are the halfway race right now, are taking the Tottenham route of the ladder. I have something in the chocolate cabinet now.
Shout out to the Tottenham fans. My girl told me she wanted that Sun jersey, but I don't feel like wasting my money on that now. I could tell she back on Madrid or something. Like, I can't allow that.
What? You hear that? The man say you can't buy it for you, so that will not be under your tree for Christmas. You're hearing it really? That breaking news here on top of it. So, again, I would take the trophy. But then again, I'm not taking the 46 spot at the end of the season. I hope him to rise and make a better showing of myself. I know I'm capable of it. Again, we got caught in the Rasmus hype. We got caught in the Darwin web of rise again. And we move. We have two game weeks plus half of the season to right the wrongs of the past. And maybe, we could do a wonder thing and climb back up to the top of the table. So it was nice talking FPL here with you, cousin. All the best for Christmas, all the best for the game week. I hope to see you in the top 10 very soon, and maybe another appearance to do a co-host in the episode now. Maybe we could get marked or so on as well.
I just want to say I love the action in the league. I love the banter. I love how transparent you and Ezra is in terms of the stuff behind the scenes, about the prizes, right? And I really like that about this league. So yeah, I will be back next year, and as I've been telling Micah multiple times, to win this league, this is the year that I want to win, because I know next year there's a lot more people will be joining. So if I have to win the league, in my opinion, it's best I win it this year and pull out.
Alright, cousin, you hear that? And I hope when you come back in the new year, you have a match of the month. I want to flex now.
Definitely.
Alright, cousin, all the best and see you soon, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for the visit.
Yeah.
Again, I want to thank my cousin Nick for the special appearance this episode. All the best this game week. And now for those who stuck by for the entire episode, it's the final segment. It's called My Plan Transfer, where I give you an insight into my move this game week. And it's short and simple. I have one big elephant in the team right now, a bullseye. It's in red as well, so I love that analogy. I'm talking about Darwin Núñez. Currently, I am holding the transfer and looking to do a double ahead of next game week, but Darwin will be on the bench. So I'm playing a 3-5-2 with Darwin on the bench. However, if I change my mind, I would move Darwin on to Gabi Jesus, as I think that's the best available striker that I don't currently have in my team. The thinking behind this is that I am waiting for news on Erling Haaland and his availability ahead of Game Week 19. And to bring the big Norwegian back into my team, I would need 2 transfers. So without taking a hit, I'll be able to bring him back in Game Week 19 if I want to. So that's the thinking behind my plan transfer this game week. So most likely it's a roll, or 1% it would be Darwin to Gabi Jesus. And now that brings us to the end of episode 21 of Proper Things. I enjoyed bringing the episode to you all. It was a little extra this game week, as we did game week 18 and 19, so it had a little more content in there. We had a special guest and my cousin Nick giving his insight on his team. And I just want to tell you all, I really appreciate the support you all been giving me, the love you all been giving me. It's been a great 2023. Remember, we just started this show off in August for this season. Already seeing the love, seeing the views. And I appreciate everyone who watched the videos, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share the videos. And much love, and I wish you all an absolute wonderful Christmas, and thank you so much. For those who haven't yet subscribed, liked, or even leave a comment, there's still time in 2023, so I appreciate the support from you all again. Finally, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and wonderful Christmas. Don't forget to thank God for all the good things in your life and to spend time with your loved one and have fun, but be safe on the roads because you know it could be a little treacherous out there for the holiday season. So again, all love and don't forget to do proper things in all walks of life. I'll see you all in time ahead of Game Week 20. Stay safe and peace.